Hello friends, welcome to another financial analysis of my predictions for NVIDIA and gold. This is the 13th of January, today is Monday, and we'll cover some of the past few days and what can happen in the next couple days. So we had that today was a very kind of a range day. The price didn't really do much. Overall, it was a green day. But the price after trading hours compared to the previous day, it began in a much lower position. So that's there. It's something to take into account. This day was going to be very volatile. I imagine that it will be very volatile because we have this pattern right here. You know, whenever we have the same day shared by opposite energies, it 90% of the time usually means extreme volatility. Now this time we got kind of a range. It's not exactly a range because this is a clear green day compared from the opening position to the closing. But at the same time, it also, like I said, it had a much weaker position compared to the previous day after trading hours. So there's something to be said about that, I guess. Is a mix of these both red and green energies in a way, right? So tomorrow we can expect, tomorrow is going to be complicated, guys, because even though the day is also part of this green circle right here, it doesn't really mean that we'll see two consecutive green days. Whenever we have these circles and not with the diagonal kind of division, it's going to be an alternative day circle, meaning that only one of these 2 days will be an uptrend or a correction, depending the case. In this scenario, we are talking about an uptrend. So technically, the green day, we already got it for today. So I'm not really sure about tomorrow. The 15 is going to be very, very volatile. So what we can expect is that this is going to inaugurate a danger zone, which is a range of days from the 14th to the 16th of January. Now, if I were to say which days have the potential to be the most dangerous, I think it can be the 15th and the 16th, because these days are fully inside this box, this danger zone, and they are also part of this red circle. So whenever we see this pattern that both the circle and the box confirms the same days, we can basically almost 100% guarantee that it's going to happen. But given that the 14 is also part of this danger zone, maybe the 14 could be a slightly volatile day where it's going to lead up to the inevitable corrections that will play out in more detail by the 15 or the 16. So maybe these days, at least personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the lowest point, which I think could happen somewhere around the 15 or even the 16, and then I'm going to open some positions. Those positions will be eventually sold at the day where it's going to be very volatile. For example, the 17 presents a good opportunity. If it's volatile on the uptrend, it's a day where we can sell some of these positions, or at least I will sell some of these positions. If it's volatile on the downtrend, we can accumulate even more. But this right here is going to be kind of the limit, the end game for me. I don't see more green days coming, especially very good pumps coming after this potential pump zone or green zone. We have 23 to the 24. After that, guys, I don't really see much hope for NVIDIA. It's going to be kind of a bearish trend. But this week right here is the week of the inauguration. So it's going to be a very, very volatile week. Nobody really has an idea of what's going to happen. I mean, I'll have to go back to previous inauguration weeks or inauguration days to see what really is the trend that can happen. Okay, the historical trend whenever we have inauguration days or inauguration weeks. I'm talking about the presidential inauguration, okay? So it's going to be very volatile, guys. A lot of people, especially the crypto people, the crypto bros, they are thinking that because Trump said many good things about Bitcoin, the moment he's inaugurated, we'll see a massive crazy pump. But guys, things don't really work that way. I mean, that's a very childish way to see things, okay? I'm not saying we'll not see Bitcoin or any other, especially tech-related stock or related to the Trump economic policy, do a massive, crazy uptrend, crazy pump. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's not going to happen right away. I don't think that will be the case. But my point still remains, and this week is going to be very, very volatile. It could present some opportunities, but look, just like I told you, after this green zone, I'm really not going to trade, at least to sell, because it's going to be a time to accumulate, in my opinion. But yeah, this is basically the entire outlook for NVIDIA, at least for the next couple days, and a little touch of the inauguration week. This week has the potential to be very dramatic on the downtrend, because not only the price, like we just saw today, begins much lower after trading hours, but it can go even worse, because we have these massive danger zones approaching very quickly. Actually, tomorrow it's going to be the start of that danger zone. Okay, this is no joke, guys. This is no joke. I mean, whenever we have the red circle, the red box, almost aligning with the same days, it's going to be very dangerous. So yeah, that's basically everything that I have for NVIDIA. Now let's take a look at the gold charts. So remember, gold is very volatile. Gold tends to go higher whenever geopolitical tensions are coming, whenever they are crazy, very active in a way. So what we see is that in the past few days, many of these days were part of this green zone that we see right here from the 8 to the 12. So this is a massive green zone. It's actually covering a lot of days. We can see that, right, just like I told you guys, just like I predicted, from the 8, this uptrend began for gold. So we can see the 8 was a green day. The 9th was also a green day. The 10th was slightly a green day. I mean, it got very active in the last hours when it came to drops. And really, we see 3 consecutive green days from the 8 to the 10. But after the 10, we see that the 12 was kind of a yellow day. The positions ends very similar to the starting one. But on the 13, it's a very volatile day. Volatile, extreme volatility. This is actually massive for gold, because we have a full 100%, I mean, full 1% from the starting point to the lowest. So it's kind of massive for gold. After that, it recovers. So where it's currently at, it's basically like 0.5%, 60%, something like that, 0.60%. So it was very massive at the lowest, just like I showed you. Remember, this was part of this yellow circle right here, extreme volatility or range. Now, in the case of gold, we barely have any range at all, so it was most likely going to be volatility, and that's exactly what we just saw. For the next days, again, the 14 is also showing some very, very high volatility signals. We see that it's going to be shared by opposite energies. We also see that after that, the 15 is the beginning of this danger zone right here. So we have from the 15 to the 17 potential corrections, powerful corrections, 100%, I mean, 1%, something like that, 0.5%. Remember, guys, this is gold. You're not going to see 10% corrections. This is going to be extremely bizarre. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But you can expect at least some powerful corrections in this range of days. If I were to say, I think the 15 is a very likely candidate, and possibly on the 16 as well, to see those massive corrections. Tomorrow could be a very spiky day, maybe even a green day, slightly, if we're lucky. But after that day, it's going to be mostly mostly just bearish vibes that we'll see on gold. And this is basically many of these days that we just talk about. They are the same that the NVIDIA chart also shows. So you need to be prepared, because we already have these two different charts, one from stocks and this from gold, that basically show that these days are going to be overall impacting the entire economy. Okay, not just one stock and not just gold. The week of the inauguration, at least for gold, it's also showing some volatility, but it's going to be spiky on the first 2 days. I think it's going to be in line with what it usually represents. I mean, I just told you a couple of minutes ago that gold goes higher whenever we have geopolitical tensions going very, very, very hot. And even though the inauguration is not a geopolitical tension per se, it's basically the start of the Trump administration, which already promises to be extremely volatile, okay? Not just in economy-wise, but geopolitically-wise. I mean, you see his statements about Greenland, about the Panama Canal, about Canada, about Europe, about China, so it's going to be kind of crazy. So it makes sense that gold can go up on these days. But yeah, basically that's all I have for you. I really invite you all to subscribe and share and like and give me your comments, guys, because I do like reading your comments. It's a good, positive community, unlike the crypto community in one of my channels, which is full of toxic people for some reason. I mean, who knows, but toxic, cryptocurrencies for some reason tend to attract some very weird people. But anyways, that's all I have for you. I'll wish you a good day. I'll see you later. Take care.